What's up, comic fans? It is time to preview the books coming out February 28th, alright? Tuesday, February 27th, you'll see some DC books drop in some shops. But the 28th, all other books will come out. We're gonna get into it right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back. Alright, if you've come back, you know we got spec books, we've got spotlight books, we've got what was on FOC this week, and we have all books coming out this week. So we're gonna do it, and you know how we do. We're gonna do the spec books first. Alright, first off the bat, we have The Flash number 6. And why is this on the spec list? Because we have a character that's going to stick, but not only stick, they're going to work for the good guys. And sometimes good guys tend to stick better than bad guys. And so we have the possible first appearance of Inspector Pilgrim. Alright. Yeah. So you have an ally to the Flash, Inspector Pilgrim, possibly showing up in this book. Alright. That's why this is a spec book. You know, feel free to thumb through it at your local comic shop. You know, don't ruin the book, but see if Inspector Pilgrim's in there. All right, let's move on. We don't have a lot of spec books this week. Spec has really slowed down, and I think it's a good thing. I think the publishers realized they were just inundating us with all these first appearances. So if they can slow down on those first appearances, that's great, because you can only have so many characters that you can call back and forth, you know what I mean? Alright. Duke number 3 is not it. Alright, continuing on with the spec books, we have Giant Size Fantastic Four number 1. Alright. This is not a good guy in here. This is, as we see in the solicitations, where does it say it? Anyway, just read it here. Imperious Rex. Namor is in prison serving out his sentence as the disgraced king of Atlantis. So when a new yet ancient threat arises from the sea, there you go. New yet ancient threat. So that's what we're going to get. Who better to leap into the fray than Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four? So Namor, definitely has a relationship with the Fantastic Four. Primarily Sue Richards, the Invisible Woman. But here you go. In the Giant Size Fantastic Four number 1, we're going to get a new threat. And that's all I got, guys. That's all I got for spec this week. Alright, let's get into some spotlight books. These aren't necessarily spec, but these are books that are on my radar that I like. Here's Duke number 3. Alright, you got Baroness on the cover. And Duke's a fun series. The whole Energon verse from beginning to end has been really fun. So if you haven't been reading it, I would jump on. At this point, hasn't been a lot, but you got a lot of books. So I would say maybe look for some trades at this point. And then with things like Cobra, we're only like 2 issues in. So feel free to, jump on Cobra for the floppies. Transformers is a couple issues in, but I don't think there's a trade yet for that, right? Duke's on issue number 3, so we definitely don't have a trade for that yet. But yeah, if you can find a way to read the Energon verse, definitely do that. It's been a really fun read. Alright, next up on the spotlight books, we got Avengers Twilight number 3. Alright, why is this on the spotlight? Well, because it's an Alex Ross cover. Hate or love Miss Marvel, she's on there. And that's just a really dope cover. Also, you have the first appearance of James Stark in armor. So James Stark had the Avenger Twilight books kind of, on the minor spec list. And there you go. Avengers Twilight number 3, you get to see James Stark in the armor. All right, moving on to the next Spotlight book. Again, it's an Alex Ross cover, and we have Thor, the Immortal Thor, number 7. The Trials of Utgard. Young Thor faced the tricks of the Utgard Loki with all that lived at stake in a tale twice told, and now told again, yet the teller was the Skald of Realms, in their aspects as Thor's enemy. And thus the tale could twist upon itself, and if Thor faltered, it could make a new end. This is the story of the immortal Thor, and the story may yet destroy us all. Alright, cool. A lot of wordplay there, alright. But at the end of the day, you have a Alex Ross cover that is pretty dope. I mean, he's fighting a giant cat. And I see a Loki in there, and maybe there's a fish. Is there a dragon in the background? So, cool cover. Alright guys, we're done with the Spotlight books. Let's move on to the final orders. Alright, final orders due. And what do we have coming out of these final orders due? We have Man's Best, number 1. Really cool. Another like pet saves the world kind of story, or pet saves the day kind of story. That's what it looks like. Anyway, it just looks really cool. If we go back to this page, you do have a Trish Forstner book. Alright, so yeah, you know, these these pet centric books have been coming out, and they've been doing pretty well, and people love them. So I don't see why this one, you know, be any different. So I'm gonna pick up Man's Best, if anything, just for the read, just to see what it's like. All right. After that, we do have Edge of the Spider-Verse. I definitely ordered this, and you know, it's got the first appearance of the Spooker Man. So there's a lot of Edge of Spider-Verse, a lot of spec. I don't necessarily agree with the whole 200 plus Spider-Verse characters, but one of them might hit one day, who knows? So, who knows? Get my money back on it if one of them hits. But anyway, this is pretty cool. Alright. The cover is also really cool. That's another reason why I picked it up. And I got Edge of Spider-Verse 1, so out of this volume. It's a Kari Andrews vehicle as the writer. Cover art by Chad Wayne Harden, and the artist inside is Robert Quinn. But I like the cover on this. All right, let's get into the rest of the books coming out this week. I'm going to start off with Boom. Here comes the Boom. Ready or not? All right, we got a Grimm pen and ink. Right, they were doing that for Something Is Killing the Children, and I believe House of Slaughter got the same treatment. Now we see Grimm get the pen and ink book. All right. With the new Dune movie coming out, we see a hard cover volume 2 coming out of Dune, House of Harkonnen. Expanse, The Dragon Tooth number 9 is coming out, alright? The Expanse has a comic. They had a comic before too, I'm pretty sure. There's a blank sketch of the Grimm pen and ink, so you can get your own pen and ink cover done, alright? You got some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers coming out. This is Zombie Ranger. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Alright, we're gonna keep the ball rolling. And yeah, you got Rare Flavor, Slow Burn. It looks like Slow Burn is coming to an end with issue 5 of 5. Alright, we're at DC Comics. And what do we got? You got some Amazon Attack number 5. Alright, that looks like Peacemaker. Yep, it says right there, Peacemaker Strikes. And he's definitely got somebody down, you know, his scope right there. A couple of covers for that issue. Batman Brave and the Bold, number 10. Simon DeMeo. What else? Detective Comics, 1082 is coming out. I am subbed up, as you can see there, to Detective Comics. What else? You got that Flash that we talked about. Green Arrow, if you love the Green Arrow. Green Arrow originally was slated to be like a limited series, and a lot of people loved it, so it's just going to keep going on. Right here it says issue 9 of 12. So I believe maybe it was scheduled for, I don't know, maybe 10 issues, but anyway. Or maybe it was scheduled for 12 and they've just extended it, but it hasn't caught on yet. All I know is it's definitely going to go a little longer than it was initially planned. What else? You got Jay Garrick, the Flash. That's coming to an end soon. What else? Penguin is on issue number 7. It's cool that they gave Penguin and the Joker their own standalone series, right? Makes a little bit more sense for the Joker because he kind of faked his death. So I want to see what the Joker's doing during that time. You got Power Girl books, right? We're up to issue number 6, including the sweater weather cover. I guess this isn't, I was going to say this probably would have done better around Christmas time, but it's still cold weather out there. Baby, it's cold outside. Alright, and we're off to Marvel Comics. Amazing Spider-Man number 44 seems to be kind of a polarizing thing. Maybe not. Maybe more people don't like it than like it. I have not been hateful of Gang War. I have also not bought all the tie-ins to Gang War. So I've only been reading ASM and maybe a few like spin-offs. It is what it is. I don't hate it. Alright, let's keep the ball rolling. There is a Peter Parker variant. If you were into more of the Peter Parker than the Spider-Man part of the character. Avengers Twilight number 1 gets a second printing. There's also, guys, a ton of variant covers. So pick up any cover you like. I say the A cover is probably the dopest, as it is a Alex Ross cover, and seems to be the one that most people who are into minor spec were specking on, or just into spec, I guess. Avengers Twilight number 3, we talked about that as being a minor spec book, but also one of my spotlight books because of the cover. A couple of cool covers, actually. A and the B cover look really cool. Maybe the D cover as well. Alright, what else? If you're a Cable fan, there's some Cable, there's some Carnage, there's some Dead X-Men number 2. Alright, including an X-Men 97 variant. With that X-Men 97 cartoon coming out, we're bound to see a few X-Men 97 variant covers. Giant Size Fantastic Four is out. That's cool. Thor, Iron Man. Let's get the ball rolling here a little bit. You got Miles Morales coming out this week. There is a Secret Wars number 2 facsimile. There will be one in foil. Punisher number 4 comes out. I feel like that, I don't know, has that series been really slow to come out? Spider-Punk gets a new series, so we get Spider-Punk number 1 this month. You get some Thrawn Alliances, number 1, second printing, and number 2, I believe there is a 1 in 25 of the first print, second printing type deal. Which is like really rare, right? Who's ordering? That book is an adaptation of a novel, right? So who's ordering a second printing, 25 copies to get the 1 in 25 variant? Craziness. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 268 gets the foil facsimile treatment as well as a regular. What If Venom, which is going to explore early days of Venom and, you know, if he had basically taken over other people. What else? You got some White Widow, Wolverine, and The Woman of Marvel. That should be a one-shot anthology. We're at Dynamite. What do we got coming out of Dynamite? AOD Forever, Army of Darkness Forever, number 1. A couple of those. Fire and Ice, number 1. Fire and Ice Tigra. Got Lilo and Stitch, number 1. Premium covers, so those are expensive. Negaduck, number 4. Red Sonja, number 8. And let's go. Wheel of Time, November. Alright, all the other comics coming out this week. What do you got? You got Al Capone Vampire number 2, signed for $19.99. Archie Comics Digest. If you're an Archie Comics fan, there's still an Archie out there for you. Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees #1 gets a 3rd printing this week. Alright. So if you missed out on the 1st and 2nd printings, here is your chance. And this FOC has issue #2, reprinting of issue #2. I believe it's the 2nd printing of issue #2. So yeah, if you missed out on the first 2, go ahead. I got my issue way back at New York Comic Con last October. So hoping to grab issue #2, which sold out super quick at my LCS, on this next go around, just to continue reading it. What else? D&D Saturday Morning Adventures #2 is out. Alright. Duke, which we talked about, there's a couple issues of that. That's out. Earth Divers Ice Age, Volume 2. That's out. Only $15.99 if you want to read it. And let's see. Godzilla War for Humanity #4 is out. And guys, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me in this moment, and I appreciate that. And I borrowed that from Jay-Z. I don't know if he borrowed that from anybody else, but if you know, let me know down in the comments. Holmes and Houdini #2 from Xenoscope. Some of those covers are Ice Cream Man #38. What else? Invincible gets a complete library hardcover, Volume 4 for $175. What else? Lady Death, Sacrificial Annihilation. If you're a Lady Death fan, those are really pricey. Those covers. What else? My Little Pony for you My Little Pony fans. That's the Kentucky Roller Derby #2. Alright. They almost got me with that. Almost said Kentucky, but it's Kentucky. New Burn #15. I read the first few issues of that. I thought that was really good. It's Chip Zdarsky. So if you're a fan of Chip Zdarsky, go check out New Burn. Alright, we're almost to the end, guys. I do appreciate you being here. Radiant Black #28 is out. Savage Dragon. Conan, Savage Sword of Conan #1. That'll be a 6-part mini, right? We're so close. Lots of books. Lots of books this week. I feel like all the publishers were really pumping them out. Alright, and just reads, just good reads. That's really Undiscovered Country #28 is out. World Tree #8 by James Tynion IV. That's been a pretty good read. Alright, that's it, guys. We're at the end. Alright, so comic fans, do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get ready for this week's books. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. I'm wishing you all the best this week. Deuces. Peace. What's up, comic fans? It's time to preview the comic books coming out February. And today is December 12th when I'm recording this, so some shops will have dropped DC books. What's up, comic fans? And it's time for the previews of the comic. Alright, what's up, comic fans? And welcome to the preview show.